Imagine waking up tomorrow with absolutely no alarm clock, no boss, and no emails.
For 99% of human history, that wasn't a vacation, it was ordinary life.
No offices, no factories, no schools. Not even the modern idea of a weekend existed. Yet somehow they survived, raised families, mastered fire, and explored entire unknown continents on foot. So what exactly did ancient humans do all day, every single day, for countless generations straight?
Satellite mapping, cave scanning, residue analysis, and DNA sequencing are finally answering that exact question.
For years, Hollywood showed prehistoric people constantly running from predators or desperately searching for food. Modern science actually paints a much calmer, more complex, and far more human daily picture. Evidence from sites across Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia is reshaping everything we thought we knew. Anthropologists studying the Hadza of Tanzania found something that genuinely surprised the entire scientific community. The San people of southern Africa showed nearly identical patterns in how they spent their days. Many hunter-gatherers spend only a few hours each day gathering food, hunting, fishing, or collecting resources.
The rest of their time went towards socializing, storytelling, making tools, and simply resting together. Many activities we now call leisure were actually a normal, essential part of daily survival life. These communities offer one of our closest living windows into the lifestyle that shaped humanity.
The idea of working all day, every day, might actually be a fairly recent invention.
This doesn't mean ancient life was easy, because food availability shifted dramatically with every season. Weather could turn unforgiving, injuries were genuinely dangerous, and predators posed constant, very real threats. Survival wasn't only about physical strength, it depended heavily on cooperation, planning, and clear communication. Every single day involved tracking animal migrations and identifying which plants were actually safe to eat. Locating clean water, repairing hunting equipment, and reading weather patterns filled nearly every waking hour. Modern research suggests our large brains evolved partly to manage increasingly complex social relationships.
In other words, humanity's greatest survival tool wasn't the spear, it was genuine teamwork itself.
Ancient humans were far more organized, innovative, and surprisingly balanced than most people ever imagine.
And the biggest surprise is still ahead, because their definition of work changes everything we assumed. At first glance, it might seem like ancient humans genuinely had an easy, relaxed daily life.
Our ancestors lived in a world where the line between work and life simply didn't exist.
Every conversation, every walk, and every story told by the fire supported the group's survival.
In many ways, they weren't unemployed at all. They were living a full-time cooperative lifestyle.
One major advantage ancient humans had was something modern society often completely overlooks: collective intelligence. Children learned by carefully watching adults instead of sitting quietly inside a formal classroom setting. Teenagers practiced tracking animals by closely following experienced hunters through unfamiliar and challenging terrain.
Elders became living encyclopedias, remembering migration routes, edible plants, and lessons from decades of experience.
Archaeological evidence shows tool-making techniques steadily improved across countless generations of careful refinement. Recent studies suggest early humans possessed planning abilities once believed unique to modern civilizations only. They transported valuable raw materials across impressive distances, requiring genuine foresight and careful coordination. Campsites were strategically selected based on access to water, food, shelter, and overall security. Perhaps the most important technology ever invented wasn't metal or electricity, It was simply fire. Fire extended productive hours after sunset, creating a safe space for cooking, repairing, and weaving.
Many scientists believe these evening gatherings played a critical role in the evolution of language. Around the campfire, stories preserved history, while myths quietly taught important moral lessons to everyone.
Cooking also revolutionized human biology by making food dramatically easier for our bodies to digest.
Cooked meals allowed ancestors to absorb more calories while spending far less energy digesting food. Some researchers argue this nutritional advantage directly helped fuel the growth of our large brain. Every day was filled with meaningful tasks that strengthened relationships and prepared the next generation.
So if ancient humans had no modern jobs, why were they successful for hundreds of thousands of years?
Success wasn't measured by income, productivity charts, or a calendar completely packed with meetings. Instead, survival depended on something far more valuable than status, and that was pure adaptability. They never asked how to be more productive. They asked how everyone could survive tomorrow together.
Ironically, understanding this ancient lifestyle may explain why so many struggle with stress and burnout.
Ancient DNA analysis, isotope chemistry, and high-resolution LiDAR mapping have transformed our entire understanding completely. They built sophisticated hunting strategies, created symbolic art, and crafted personal ornaments with real skill. They buried their dead with ritual practices, revealing deep emotional bonds and shared spiritual beliefs. Genetic research shows different populations exchanged ideas, materials, and sometimes even genes across vast regions. Rather than wandering aimlessly, many communities were deeply connected through shared trade and cultural traditions.
That constant accumulation of knowledge eventually led to agriculture around 12,000 years ago. Permanent settlements, cities, writing, and science all followed from that single agricultural turning point.
Every smartphone and satellite traces its roots back to humans solving problems together by firelight. They weren't unemployed. They simply lived before the modern invention of employment as we know it. Maybe the real mystery isn't what they did all day, but how far we've drifted from it.